Good morning. I'd like to talk to you about a process a lot of men go through daily, and a lot of them don't talk about it. There's sort of a stigma around it, and I think a lot of women probably aren't even aware of it. But shaving, you know, there's the shaving process. Many men go through this daily, but there's also the unspoken kind of emotional turmoil that can happen, and the journey you go on psychologically when you shave. Um, and I think I'd like to raise awareness of that, maybe take people through the steps that can happen, and give some kind of advice um, on the way that might help. Um, there's several steps that happen, and your identity can kind of be shaken to its core and questioned throughout. So I'm just going to take people through the process and maybe give some advice of how to get through shaving and keep your kind of fragility intact. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you folks. The most important part of being a man is never take clippers to your facial hair. That there is your man badge. That's your protection out there against the wilds. Take that away and it might as well be a woman. Now my daddy, the first thing he taught me was wake up in the morning, and even before you go out, hunt your buffalo for breakfast. And I eat buffalo. I stick some rusty nails in there. Keep up my immune system. Keep me awake for the manly day ahead of me. Even before that, you want to take some whiskey and petroleum and spritz that right on your beard, and that'll wake you up and also intrigue the animals you're gonna go hunt, including women. So it's my advice to you. But the moment you clip, you style, you brush, you take anything to your beard, as the moment your manlyhood's gonna droop like a sunflower without sun. That's right, I did a poetry class once, and I like to occasionally use poetic language. That right there is a metaphor. But the main thing is, whatever you do, you could do ballet, you can do poems, but as long as you've got a beard behind you, you've got the right testosterone levels, and everyone's gonna take you goddamn seriously. The key to good facial hair. What is the key to good facial hair? What does Barnaby Montague Smythe think is the key to good facial hair? Well, I think the main thing is to develop your own unique style as an individual grower of hair. For example, this design is mine. I call it the Tashchino. I think that'll probably take off soon, around August. I've got others ready in the works, obviously, but I won't talk about those till their official debut. I think you've got to develop your own unique style and keep doing that. It's really a full-time job looking after your facial hair grooming. In fact, it is my full-time job. That's why I'm so qualified to speak on it, because I run a facial hair barbers in Shoreditch. It's called the Cut of Monte Cristo, and we specialise in facial hair. Not only will we give you a great tash, but we actually also provide a complimentary soy latte, which will blow you away. Absolutely killer. We've got a lot of products for sale. We've got some mustache wax, which is very hot at the moment, fragranced, all naturally sourced. I source everything myself. I go and source the muskrats on my travels, and I travel a lot. That's another thing about taking care of your facial hair, you've got to treat it once in a while. Take it out, introduce it to new cultures, new climates, and it can become enriched by those. People say you just need facial hair conditioner, which we do sell for very reasonably priced for what you get in a bottle, really specialist stuff. But I think you also need to treat it well and let it be enriched by travel, just like yourself. Um, so yeah, head on down to Cut of Monte Cristo, and I can give you a consultation and see what we can do to spice up your facial hair and make you extremely striking. Because you really want to be taken seriously with your facial hair. I think as an actor, your facial hair is really the primary tool you can use to become a character. Um, I made waves in my performance in the birthday party because of the performance of my iconic mustache. And, it's like they say, there can be a role that actors play for years in various different ways, but then suddenly an actor does something different with it and it redefines the way people see that character. Um, and I think when I began that run of the birthday party all those years ago, critics slammed it, and they couldn't understand why Goldberg had this great walrus mustache. It's always the way with great art, people that don't understand it are going to criticize it. Of course, since then, I think it's fair to say that I started somewhat of a revolution in both mustache and beard performance. Um, it's akin to kind of the method acting revolution, or perhaps an evolution of that. And you can see the legacy. Daniel Day-Lewis is a particularly notable beard actor. Um, Now, I remember it took a lot of risks when I first wanted to establish beard acting as a serious acting process. I took the bold move of directing Betrayal, again, Pinter, and I took the bold move to cast a female part with a male actor. Um, Sort of like Shakespeare, I suppose, but I really needed a beard to explore Emma's character. And I think that really paid off, and you can see the effect of that. Again, you have critics always, but for the same reason, I cast a bearded man in the role of the child in One for the Road. One for the Road, of course, is also the piece I performed in, and I developed my sub technique of beard acting, which was the handlebar intimidation. Probably very familiar with that. So there's many artistically interesting decisions you can make with a beard, and also a great place to hide a lavalier mic. It's the same reason I cast dark-skinned actors. Mind you, in No Man's Land, I'm performing that later this year. You'll be able to get tickets. It's at the West End. I'm actually playing both lead roles, Hurst and Spooner. One side of me is kind of bearded, and then the other clean shaven. So there's an interesting dynamic that happens within that. And I think you'll really get something out of it if you come to it with an open mind and a full beard. I think you'll really enjoy it. The other parts, Briggs and Foster, are played by other actors, but they will have actually my beard hair attached to them. So a very experimental way of doing it. But I always go back to Pinter, just because he wrote such great beardy parts like no other writer, and because his dialogue is just these sort of lines that don't mean anything. You can say those lines, but then you have space to play with the beard, explore the beard, and I call it beard space. I've heard people refer to a pinter pause, which I think is a gross misinterpretation. It's beard space. It's space to, explore the beard in its entirety. When characters aren't talking, that's time for dialogue between beards. When there's not character action, that's time for beard action. I think if you read Pinter, you can tell he's writing for beards. In fact, I recall when I performed in The Dumb Waiter alongside Dustin Hoffman. Dustin said to me that he was struggling to get into the headspace of his character. And I said to him, "My dear boy, why don't you just grow a beard?" If you really want to go from sort of amateur clean-shaven to a serious bearded actor, I would attend some of my workshops in London or New York. And that'll show you how you can have the weight and the stage presence of a serious bearded actor. When you walk into a room, people are immediately going to read you from your beard. They're going to say, is this a man with confidence, who takes charge, who has control over his beard? Or if he doesn't have control, what else doesn't he have control over? His life must be in disarray. That's how businesses are going to see you, that's how people are going to see you. In relationships, people are going to see you based on whether you have control over your beard. And I would avoid all relationships in general until you've achieved your beard goals that you've set out for yourself. Relationships are just going to distract from those beard goals. And then the person's going to leave you for somebody that wasn't distracted, has achieved a better beard than you. They're not going to be there when things get tough, when things get challenging, and you've got to focus every day on new styles, new techniques of shaving. But you know what will be there? This companion. Don't be a pushover. Don't let people walk over you. Have confidence in everything you do. Have conviction in everything you do, no matter what. Don't listen to the haters. Don't sympathise. Sympathy is an act of weakness, and people will see that, they'll take advantage. I'm not a monster. I sympathise. I have an allotted time. I'll watch a documentary. I'll sympathise with that, and then I can learn and grow at the same time. But out of that confidence, fake it till you make it. If you've got to draw on a felt tip beard till you can grow the one you want, that's fine. Do that. This is coming from a guy, believe it or not, his talk is coming from a guy that couldn't grow any facial hair till they were 27. I used to cry about it. Oh, why can't I grow a beard? Why can't I grow a beard? I'm 25. All my friends have beards. Why can't I grow a beard? I'm a loser. I'm a failure. I deserve to die like all clean-shaven people. But with the time and the hard work and the commitment, I was able to afford that hair transplant. Now I have this confidence generator. And who's laughing now? Chris? Yeah? Who's laughing now? With your mustache in high school? Becky? Yeah? Turn me down? Well, now me and my beard don't even want you. Yeah? You had your chance 15 years ago when you turned me down and said I was a boy, not a man, yeah? Who's the serious man now? So I like to look at my facial hair in a way that's very in keeping with my wider beliefs. I believe the 5 o'clock shadow is kind of elements of our psyche that we might have repressed, manifesting as facial hair. So when I shave that, I have to go through a full transcendental process. It's a journey of dealing with those repressed elements of my psyche. This kind of gap here represents my gap year, which is very formative for me. I keep the soul patch because that reminds me of the single one soul that everybody shares in the universe, and that keeps me grounded with that idea. I think that it's important to use the right products. Obviously, I'm vegan, although I actually am in a transformative process to become an vegan. Vegans become quite trendy now, thanks Gwyneth Paltrow. So I think vegan is where I don't eat vegetables either, because I think vegetables are still part of the Brahmin, and I don't want to, they're not for me to consume. How I treat my beard is if you have some of these shrooms that you can get, they're actually on the underside. In Japan, you can get them. They're harvested from kind of the pits of whales under their fins. You can kind of find these growing, and I would recommend harvesting them yourself. But if you don't, plenty of natives are happy to get them as well. They just collect it and then they'll sell it to you. Or you can just order it off Amazon. That's what I did with this. And it came the next day as well, which I think is probably sort of the law of attraction more than my Amazon Prime. And yeah, it is, and you want to take one of these a day, and that will really invigorate your beard, but also keep the energy levels in a very balanced place. I can feel it working already. Treat your beard kind of like an orbit of positive thoughts. You want the hairs to collect positivity and reject negativity. Again, if you want any more advice on how to take the Egan spiritualist approach to your facial hair, just let me know. This is not a path I chose to be an activist about this stuff. I just knew it was something that I had to follow. 5 minutes into Alan Watts and some Mango Kush, and I knew that it was what I had to do. That's right. I smoke weed, which should be legal. Sorry if that's edgy for some people. It actually has a lot of benefits, weed, so, you can cultivate an ethical Egan beard, which lets people know you're serious about your spirituality and wanting good for the world and your beard.
A strong mustache is essential for anybody wanting to be taken seriously, both in the workplace or in the bedroom. If you contact my company now, we will be able to give you a consultation on how you can achieve a good look for your mustache. I also have many startup companies in the works, and if you contact me about these, we offer many mustache-based products. For example, you can call now to order a mustache bath. You will also get with that a lemon and honey mustache balm and a minty mustache scrub. The balm can be applied and you can wait for 10 to 15 minutes. I would suggest a meditative state for this, where you let your mustache stand for that time period. Do not take up any activity such as crosswalking or loading the washing. Just sit there and allow it to do its work, do its magic, and the minty scrub you can just apply and then wash off. Great products. I'm both the manager and the ideas man for the company and the supervisor for the startups that I'm a part of. If you write it down and say what product you're interested in and when you started growing a mustache, a lucky winner will get a 6-email exchange between the two of us. That's 6 emails between us, not 6 for you and 6 for me. We had that problem before when we ran that competition. Also, if you're going to send any attachment over 2 megabytes, please do so between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. As any other time, I have extremely slow internet, and I really cannot have the time in my schedule to be downloading them. If you would like to call and discuss any mustache-related anecdotes or talk about mustache-related paraphernalia, please feel free. Friends of mustaches are also welcome. Equally, I have an interest in military history, particularly shells and mortars, so contact me about that if you wish as well. I wouldn't argue with any women who would perhaps like to be a women friend of myself, who would like to contact through the same means. I should stress, however, that I would prefer if females did not have a mustache of their own or any facial hair. Equally, please don't apply if you have alopecia or no hair at all. I like a balance. Uh, I realise there has been some slander about my companies from a disgruntled ex-wife of mine. I would just like to assure people that those are merely rumours she has spread that are completely wrong, and to address that briefly, if anyone's seen any of that, I didn't know it was a rash until 3 months before the appointment, at which point the doctor misdiagnosed, and it was an ongoing situation which I'm now pursuing litigation about. I would also like to assure people that although my mustache is perhaps not as full currently as it appears in some of my LinkedIn photos, this is due to a stress-related injury at which I experienced some mustache hair loss. However, this has completely cleared up now, and I'm looking to see some real growth in the next 6 months to a year. So there's that to look forward to. Despite this difficulty, I am a fully professional qualified mustache consultant. I took my PhD in mustaches throughout the ages and what they've meant politically, and also the sexual psychology of mustaches. So, please inquire within if you are a serious man or lady looking to address mustache-related complaints, looking for a mustache consultancy, or looking for mustache-based products. My startups and business ventures can cater to any need.
So hopefully that gives some kind of insight into the challenge that can be experienced when shaving, the mental and emotional turmoil that can come about as a result of it, and maybe get people opening up about that and talking about those identities that come up. Um, you can't just snip them away like an unwanted beard. Oh, and also, if anyone is worried that kind of shaving your beard or being clean shaven somehow takes away from your manliness,
That's complete rubbish. It's just some weird stigma that's kind of people have, and it's a joke people like to make. But it has absolutely no effect on you whatsoever. You're just the same person, just without a beard.